Hey everybody, welcome to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
I'm Tiffany.
First issues of X-Men. We've got the X-Men #1, the highest selling comic book of all time. X-Men 2099 #1, and X-Men Noir #1. All #1s, all featuring the X-Men. X-Men 2099 is written by John Francis Moore with art by Ron Lim. This debuts the X-Men 2099, and I picked this up as my copy from when I was a kid, and I bought this.
There's a barcode on it and everything.
There is. The 2099 label, clearly they're like, okay, future Marvel Universe, 2099, crazy, dystopian, whatever. No connection to any of the other books. Like, just do whatever you want. Like,
you mean like Punisher 2099?
Yeah, or Spider-Man 2099. I mean, like, they're all set in the same universe. They're all in the same continuity. It's just that nobody had like a series Bible or a plan around this universe, clearly based on the depiction of this. Though when I was reading it at the time, I was reading Spider-Man and then I read X-Men. And I'm like, cool, because, Spider-Man felt like it was on the East Coast. This is a West Coast book. And I was like, wow, like, that's how different the United States is. And it's like, it's so different, it's almost like nobody has any roadmap for how this universe is supposed to be portrayed. So anyway, it opens up and we're in the Nevada desert where there's like this bunker that belongs to a city that was built to kind of be great, and instead they ran out of money and it's just garbage. And so it was kind of abandoned and ignored, and nobody really believes that there's anything there. And this character, our protagonist, Timothy, is like, I'm gonna go here because he met this crazy-looking, attractive woman who gave him a card that had an X on it. X! Get it? X-Men.
There's also a big X on the door.
Oh, but like if you're just a passerby, you think like, X, don't go in there.
No, it means it marks the spot.
It does mark the spot, indeed. He's a very much, like, even though it takes place in 2099, he's very much a product of the 90s.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I don't give a shit.
Disaffected.
Yeah.
The world sucks.
He hates himself, he hates the world, it's all kind of like whatever. But he's less of a dick about it than most.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, hope I don't break anything. So he opens the door, or he slides the card through, and the door opens, and this big dude named Junk Pile is there, and he goes, what do you want, meat? As if to indicate that this guy is not made of meat. He is not flesh and blood. He looks like he's made of stone, or technology, or both. His name's Junk Pile, so it's probably made of
It's fitting.
garbage. Oh, so Shakti gave you this card, huh? Well, good luck, you poor bastard. Get in the party. And so so Tim like goes, party? There's no reason to be partying. I live in the year 2099. This place sucks. So he goes in and he finds the like Matrix orgy. It's just a big, awesome rave. Everyone's having an awesome time. It's just a mosh pit of sex.
They're dancing.
It's just writhing people all over the place. And there's a big screen up on the over them, and there's music presumably blasting. And he's like, what is going on in here? I thought this place was supposed to be deserted. He bumps into future X-Men 2099 Serpentina, or Tina for short. Why is she called Serpentina? Because she's got cool dragon tattoos. It's like, I thought they were snakes, but it's like a dragon. And the dragon tattoos are on her arms, and her arms can elongate.
Like snakes.
Get
or
it?
Mr. Fantastic.
Right. So she's the most useless X-Man because her powers are she can reach the high shelves.
Or she
If they have very tall shelves, that's a useful skill.
yeah.
Right.
Or if she has like an itch on her back.
Or someone else's back. She can take care of it.
From across the room.
Yeah.
So anyway, she introduces herself. She's like, hey, you seem like kind of uptight. Let me give you some hugs. And he's like, whoa, no. And she's like, oh, right.
I'm gonna keep squeezing.
Yeah, haha. I'm the constrictor. Anyway, she's like, this place is awesome. Feel free to like get laid or dance or have a drink or hang out with me, whatever. Anyway, let me drop some exposition on you. Here's the Colossus character from 2099. So Eddie is a ripoff of Grunge because Grunge from the Gen 13 books can touch any metal or object, and then he becomes that object, like the consistency of that object.
Right. Doesn't Absorber Man do that too?
Absorber Man could do that too, yeah.
But that's their own.
No, that's their own guy. So,
Yeah.
So Eddie is the Colossus of the 2099 X-Men book. He has a number of metals that he keeps on himself, and he can touch them, and he can become that metal. Right? Oh, cool. Right now, he's using it to bounce sound off of himself to keep the party going.
Yeah, like he does a dance.
Yeah, and his dance also like projects or vibrate sound
waves, yeah.
and so he can
Off
like
of these panels around him.
yeah, he's basically a DJ,
Yeah.
but of like abject sound.
I don't think he normally makes sound. I think it has something to do with what's happening right now.
No, right now it's just put him in the middle, and it's like we'll blast speakers at him, and he can like he can knock the sound at people. And
Sounds like it should be vibranium.
I agree.
He's like fighting the sound.
Yeah.
Whatcha! This is
Yeah.
my dance fight against the sound.
I mean, literally, we're seeing like, yeah, he knows martial arts and he knows how to party. So anyway, we cut to like the control center where Junk Pile is like pissing and moaning about how like about Xian or Xian.
Yeah, depending on.
I've always pronounced it Xian because of Shizor.
Or, yeah.
But I'm gonna say Xian. But Xian is the Xavier of this universe, and Xian is like the leader of the X-Men and I guess this party.
Is it required to have an X in your name if you are going to be the leader of the X-Men?
Yes.
Okay.
Junk Pile is pissing and moaning about how like he's supposed to be, I guess, like Xian's bodyguard, but she keeps leaving and doing stuff, and like, how am I supposed to be able to do this if Xian keeps leaving? He's just unloading on Shakti, and she's like, shut up. And
Listen,
he's like,
I'm gonna go look like a Mortal Kombat character over here.
right. He's like, oh no, you're not, and he grabs her hand, and she uses her telepathy to hurt him. It's funny because like if you're just looking at it and you're reading the words, it's like she's using like she sends like a wave into his arm to like kill his arm or like,
Yeah, like
shut
a
off
conduit kind of thing.
Yeah, but no, she's using her mental telepathy to make his arm not work.
Yeah.
But that's not what the art's
I know.
portraying. But it doesn't matter. The point is, we go to the Las Vegas Strip. So one of the bigwigs of Las Vegas in this time period is Singe, and Singe is like an old.
He's
rich
also
guy.
a Mortal Kombat character.
He also is Mortal Kombat. And Singe is riding his.
Did you know he's Spanish?
I believe.
did.
Oh no! The twist is he's Egyptian.
Oh.
So, but Singe is riding his like stallion around the grounds.
It's a mare.
Thank
It's
you.
an Arabian mare.
You're right.
Arabian mare.
You know what's funny? My brain gave
Did
me
that?
that, and then I was
And-
like, no.
No, that's dumb.
And then it came out of Ben's mouth instead. I
Like-
think that's my mutant
Like you
power.
Shakti'd him. Bam, bam, bam. Anyway, so Xian shows up and he's like, hey, you're a dick. And if you don't stop being a dick, you're gonna look like this wall. And he like takes off the bindings on his hand and he touches the wall and the wall collapses. And
I
then
thought
he
he
leaves.
created the wall.
No, the wall's there. He touches it, it collapses.
Yeah,
Oh.
He can decompose things with his hand.
yeah, for like such a like, you know, cool, understanding kind of guy who's like just trying to keep the peace kind of like.
Well, he's a yin and yang. That's the whole thing. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Like his other hand is gold and it can heal.
What?
That's the reveal later. I think it's in issue 2 or
What
something.
do you mean it's gold? It looks like a hand.
Yeah, but they forgot. So anyway, Xian reveals that like he's two sides of the same thing. Like he's one hand can take, the other one can give.
Oh, it's like Moira.
Yeah.
Not McTaggart.
No.
It's from Overwatch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so then we go deeper into Vegas and we find that like, you know, just because it looks like Vegas doesn't mean it's exactly like Vegas. But
Oh wait, it is exactly like Vegas.
yeah, well, because people are prostituting themselves on the stage for people's benefit and gambling. Yeah, that's exactly why. And like, so they're like, oh, we caught this mutant and he's gonna like die. And so like, let's pull the crank. They got a giant slot machine and they're like, oh, it hit all death, so he's gonna die.
It's a shame that they're not Punisher skulls.
Yeah, but Punisher is a myth by this point.
Yeah.
2099 Punisher hasn't shown up yet.
Sorry, Bloodhawk.
Yeah, Bloodhawk. Awesome name. I can't believe they wasted it on 2099 because that's a character they could have introduced at any point in the regular X-Men books too.
In the 90s, yeah.
Yeah, but Bloodhawk, he's a scourge. He's like a terrorist. From what I gather, all he wants to be is like left alone. But like in any case, Bloodhawk is another casualty of the like mutant versus human relations that still plagues the year 2099. And they're like, oh, so we're gonna kill him. How are we gonna kill him, everybody, ladies and gentlemen? What are we doing? And then Bloodhawk tries to get out, like he hits the MC with his power dampening gauntlets, and so then Ramon and Sal activate a thing on him that like hurts him, debilitates him.
Yep.
Then we reveal like more characters that are bad guys who are like fun looking, and they're also part of the whole mystique.
It's funny that you call them fun looking because those are Singe's kids, right?
Yeah.
But like all like the dudes are wearing these like really crappy versions of suits.
Yes.
And like
Future
she's like,
suits.
and she's like, and I will dress like an X-Man.
Yes.
And I'm like, what is the fashion here?
Vegas.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
But like he's wearing like cowboy boots and like sort of baggy pants. Mm-hmm. A dress shirt, a tie.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Like, I'm like, where are you going? These guys are wearing just suits.
I know.
He's Vegas.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So anyway, so Singe's kids are there to oversee the transfer / eradication of Bloodhawk. This is also like weird because you remember when I mentioned that like grunge was ripped off by that Colossus guy? In Gen 13 also there's like a brother-sister combo who are like the derivatives of like the main bad guy who's in charge, who's old, and like they have like a pseudo-sexual but like, antagonistic relationship. I'm like, what? And she dresses exactly like this as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was expecting them to be mutants.
Right, and I'm sure one of them is.
At least she looks...
The one that's dressed like an X-Man is definitely a mutant of some kind. But anyway, so she's like, watch this. And so she makes out with Bloodhawk. And she's like, he's going to die with my kiss on his lips. Isn't that gross and creepy and weird?
Aren't I a rebel?
Yeah.
She's really weird, too, because, like, obviously the son is like, geared up to, like, inherit...
Take over the fortune.
Everything. And then, like, she's just, like, playing her brother. Where, like, not in that, like, sexual way, though.
No.
Where she's just like, I know the secret about you, and I'm going to go tell Daddy about it.
Right. He's like, no!
Yeah, like, like, she knows she's not going to be coming in first.
Right, but she also knows she's probably going to kill him and then become in charge anyway.
Probably.
But she needs to wait for Dad to die first.
Yeah.
So they throw Bloodhawk into like a holding thing where they're going to kill him, but then suddenly the X-Men spring into action. Oh man! So Crystalline springs into action by freezing. The Storm character creates crystals around the flunkies, and it's a porous material so they can still breathe despite the fact that they're encased in rock.
Yeah.
And the Quicksilver character, Mean Streak, shows up and he's fast. And
here we go. We got a speedster.
It's not a bad name.
oh, Mean Streak?
Yeah.
I like it actually. And Crystalline,
You could do better.
Crystalline structures. I mean, like it's a thing.
Yeah.
Like I get the reference. It's just not that great.
No, yeah, it's true. The book is interrupted, by the way, by several previews of all the 2099 books that are coming out.
Yeah, I was like,
So like
what?
literally like issue 2 of 2099 Spider-Man, issue 2 of Ravage 2099, issue 2 of Doom 2099, and issue 2 of Punisher 2099. Oh, also issue 2 of X-Men 2099. So when you're halfway through reading the book, you're reading the first 3 pages of the next goddamn issue.
You're like,
wait a minute, what's happening? What kind of time jump is this? Tim's already on the X-Men. And then you go back and you're like, oh,
they're stupid.
that was really stupid. Anyway, so Crystalline and Mean Streak.
well, how are we going to get you to read these previews? No one will want them, so I can't put them at the end of the book.
No.
That would be dumb.
Anyway, so Crystalline and Mean Streak free Bloodhawk, and they're like, hey, join the X-Men. He's like, no! And then he turns into another Mortal Kombat character, and he flies away. And
Yeah,
they're
I
like,
was
He is
like-
disgusting.
I'm like,
he's great. I love the design for Bloodhawk.
why did you go with the name Bloodhawk?
Because he looks like hemoglobin. And he flies.
But he has like he looks like a demon.
Yeah.
yeah.
Demoglobin.
Demoglobin.
No, that's just the demo goblin.
I know.
No! Demoglobin sounds like Demogoblin, but yeah. Anyway, so he flies away, and they're like, that was a waste of time. But he's on the cover, so he's not going anywhere. So Singe is back from his horse ride, and the kids are there to meet with him. And wouldn't you know it, he was melted, seemingly by Sheehan. Even though Sheehan melted the wall
And left.
and then left, but like it's made to look like it, and everyone's like, oh my god, Sheehan killed Singe. Now it's open season. I love how the daughter is like, oh, daddy, you never looked better.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, she's a real femme fatale. So anyway,
And she's like, ha.
and they're all like, ah! Even the son who's primed to take over, he's like, daddy! Like, so we know the hierarchy. We
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
we know
he didn't
who's-
do it.
Yeah,
She did.
right.
By the way, it just looks like he is a mummy. Mm-hmm. Like he's been like this forever.
Well, Sheehan's
he's
power
like
does decompose. It's like he drank from the wrong grail, like he melted. So Shakti is like surveying the crowd, and trying to like isolate Tim Fitzgerald and go like, okay, there he is. And Sheehan's
Good,
like,
he made it.
yeah, he made it. He's here. Now,
Phew.
now almost all the X-Men can be complete. And Sheehan's like, hey man, what's going on? Great, you got Tim. He's important. And she's like, okay, do you want to explain why? Or like why you're so like being weird?
To the stage!
I gotta go talk to everybody. So Eddie is like, ladies and gentlemen, Sheehan! And they're all like, woo! And it's like, Professor X never act like this. So okay, this Sheehan is like a showman, and he's like,
Well, he does like a Morpheus speech,
he
kind
does.
of.
Machines! Mutants! But so Sheehan goes out there and he's like, ladies and gentlemen, like, we're all outcasts, but when we're together, we're a people. Yeah!
It doesn't matter where you're from.
Mutant proud.
We all dance.
Well, he's not even just talking about mutants, because in this crowd, it's not all mutants.
No,
Like,
that's right. This location is they like everyone can come. Anyone's welcome.
Yeah, fringers and
And plasmers and
what these
made
other
up-
things that they call them, but like it's people who don't belong in the standard society that is there.
Yes,
yeah,
actually,
whatever kind of outcast you are.
yeah. Whether you're a degen or a discard or a fringer or an outlaw or a mutant, they mention those 5 things in the beginning in that order, and then he mentions them again as though it's like you must mention them all in that order because
Yeah.
that's the kind of configuration we establish society is like. Anyway, so he's like, hey, it's all cool.
Yeah.
This is a cool place.
Well, that's how I feel right
Yeah.
now reading it. I'm a fringer or a discard
Damn right. If
or
you're
a
an X-Men
degen.
fan, that's how you feel. And if you're an X-Men 2099 fan, even more so. Because you're one of 6 people reading this freaking thing. But Tim's like, it feels like he's talking directly to me. And Serpentina's like, I know, right? Makes you want to have sex with him, doesn't it? Tim's like, kinda. Anyway,
She's like,
Do you want me to give you a snake job?
yes.
I'm already doing it.
Yeah. Anyway, so Crystalline and Mean Street come back, failed, and they're like, oh.
Well, we didn't get Bloodhawk.
So, yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh well. So then Sheehan's like, hey, remember my hand, my creepy hand? Here it is again.
Check it out, everybody.
And then a sniper is gonna kill Sheehan. Now we set that up earlier. He's on his way in. He goes to the big room. He's ready. He's got a sniper rifle, future gun.
Right, well, you forgot the part where Shakti feels like there's something weird going on, and she asks
Junk pile.
Junkpile to like check it out. He's like, it's fine.
Yeah, that's right.
And you're like, this clever writing, I can't figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know that junk pile's on the take and that. Yeah. Anyway, so Sheen's about to get assassinated when Tim Fitzgerald is like, oh no, that glint on the balcony, it's a sniper. And so his mutant power
I know
activates.
this really well.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
like Dazzler
Right.
or some other like dazzling.
Or a spotlight
Yeah.
or a lighting technician. So he like blasts some energy and he gets this cool effect where when he uses his powers, you can see his skeleton. And he just shoots the dude in the face, and he shoots Sheehan. That is to say, the sniper shoots Sheehan in the shoulder, and Sheehan's
Ew,
like,
gross. I saw Tim's pubic bone.
but I love it because Sheehan goes, I'm shot. As though, like, it's unfeasible. How could that be? But I love it because he just falls, and
then milk pours out of him.
well, because we can't show blood. That would be inappropriate.
He's an android.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be amazing. No, it's just getting past the censors. Remember, this
Yeah.
was approved by the Comics Code Authority.
Oh, right.
But anyway, that's when the enforcers show up.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
So
Especially not milk.
the enforcers show up and they're like, this party's over. And they got paratroopers. They're just shooting up the whole
Yeah.
group. Eddie touches adamantium and he becomes like an even stronger Colossus.
he
Oh, you just have it?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then he
he has-
shouts out what he is.
Yeah. You can't hurt a man made of adamantium.
It's like, thank you.
Crystalline hits them with crystals or whatever, and then they all just like leave. And I love it because they're in this like crazy high tech facility. They got like lowering platforms and computers and
Yeah.
shit. And then everybody loads up into a van.
Yeah.
Like a mid-80s to 90s van.
Yeah, and I'm sure they souped it up like the turtle van, but like
Well, yeah, no, they souped it up with this sweet painting on the side of it.
of
Of a wizard. A techno wizard.
I was gonna say if you read the middle, you know that like Sheehan doesn't die and that like they get away, but like anyway.
Well, you're telling me he has a healing hand, so I'm assuming he's fine.
No, like they heal him. He can't heal himself. I don't know. The point is they get away, and Tim is there next to him. He's like, Sheehan, are you alright? He goes, Timothy, I knew you'd join my X-Men. And Tim's like, X-Men? Is that the book I'm in?
Oh, damn it!
I thought I was a Ravager.
Oh, is that why I look like a knockoff Remy LeBeau?
Yeah, is that why I look like Gambit? I love how everyone looks like somebody.
Yeah.
Mean Streak, Quicksilver, Eddie, Colossus, Crystalline, Storm,
Yeah.
Sheehan, Xavier. Like, will he
guess.
lose his hair at some point? I don't know. Like,
But he's got the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Tim Fitzgerald, and of course Shakti is Jean Grey, but like has black hair.
Oh, that's funny. I was putting her in like a
Psylocke.
Yeah.
That's who she is. She's Psylocke. But yeah, X-Men 2099, sets up a bold new direction. I remember, I think issue 3, they put the whole team on the cover and they said one of the X-Men 2099 will die.
And you're like, who
And I'm
cares?
like, oh!
X-Men Noir, written by Fred Van Lente with art by Dennis Calero. There has been a murder, and there are detectives walking up to the crime scene.
Because it's noir, you see.
Yeah.
Get it?
Everything happens under a bridge.
In the dark, in the fog.
Yeah, always at night.
Uh-huh.
And these guys are gumshoes.
And a saxophone's playing somewhere.
A sleazy one.
So they find a body, and they're going over the case, and there's a lot of people here, surprisingly.
And
but
one of them's green, right? He's like a noob.
yes, I was like, no one's green. Yes, he's a green horn. He's wet behind the ears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got any more?
It's a flatfoot.
He's a wet fish. He's a soggy biscuit.
Just tell
Just
us.
keep going. Okay. Anyway, the kid we realize is Quicksilver.
Yeah.
It's Peter.
Like instantaneously. Like you see his hair and you're like, oh, it's
Oh,
Quicksilver.
it's like-
Quicksilver.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't seem very fast, but okay. Yeah.
They mention he's a track star, which is a funny little tip to that. But
As opposed to his literal freaking face. Yeah.
he asks for a mint in the beginning, and the guy's like, I'm not giving you a mint. He's like, why? He's like, because you're a new detective. He's so new. He sees the dead body for the first time, and they flip her over, and he just immediately heaves.
Right.
And he's like, now you can have the mint. It would have been a waste before.
Right.
She's got a tattoo that we see that no one ever mentions. Well, yet.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, well, new guy.
What do you see?
Why don't you tell us what's going on? He's like, well, she's got 3 slashes across her back. She's got the same kind of marks across her face. She's missing her nose, her chin.
Oh, she's in 7.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a whole lot of carnage done to this woman. And he's like,
That's who did it.
anything else? Do you guys want to write this down? I'm giving you all the information
Right, I'm
you
telling
need.
you all these things.
And the seasoned detective is like, oh, you want us to write this down? I'll tell you what we're going to write down. See that X tattoo? She's an X-Man. That's all we need to know.
Right.
What happened to her? She was killed by the X-Men.
But doesn't the tattoo say she's on the X-Men?
Yeah, and the X-Men are no good, scandalous people, so they killed one of their own.
Oh, what? That's the world we're living in?
Apparently.
Okay.
They razzle Peter. There's like, don't worry, your old man, he was on the force before you. You'll learn the ways quickly. It's okay.
Right.
So they head back, and the guy's talking about like how it used to be, how he used to be a detective, and like
We're already where it used to be. What are we doing on the...
going back even further. Anyway, he's just talking about like how the X-Men came about.
Right.
He's explaining that they were this this school for not really gifted youngsters. It's more about troubled youngsters now. People with problems.
Like a reform school.
Yeah. Except the headmaster, this Xavier guy, didn't reform the kids. He instead taught them how to be criminals.
He weaponized
He broke them.
Yeah, he's like a Fagin.
We cut to a scene in a club where someone is singing. Gambit's talking to Tommy, and Gambit's like, he runs a club. He knows all about conning people.
Right.
And like, there's a club that this Jean Grey would go into, and like, no matter how many times they kicked her out, she always came back in. And like, it's like she was playing some sort of mind trick on him.
Oh.
And I'm waiting for the book to be like, oh, there are powers.
Because she has powers.
And things are going on. I guess we'll get there. So this guy, Tommy, goes out to his car. There's a woman about to get attacked and beaten over the head with a crowbar. It's a little extreme.
Yeah.
He steps up, slugs the guy, puts his face through a car window.
Wow.
And, hey, I've saved your life. What's your name? Oh, me? I'm the daughter of the commissioner. My name's Miss Magnus.
Oh, she's Scarlet Witch.
It's Wanda.
Scarlet Witch.
Wanda
thank you.
Maximoff, yeah.
Max Magnus in this.
Wanda Magnus. So, Peter's sister.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I get it. Magneto is the chief of police.
Yes.
I get it. So, he offers to buy her. Or he's like,
Buy you a
well, I
drink.
saved your life. And she's like, are you 2 man enough to let a lady buy you a drink? He's like,
No, I'm not.
No, but I am thirsty.
Wanda owes Remy a lot of money. After 10 large, she stopped counting.
Right.
So that's why there was a goon trying to attack her.
Yeah.
A guy named Bishop, apparently.
Oh.
And now he's got a scar
Except
over
it
his
was-
eye.
Oh.
It was a saxophone instead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the scene ends. Now Tom is over on Rikers Island and he's interviewing Charles Xavier.
Oh, cool.
And this has a really nice touch point where it's like, oh, have you ever read the work of Mr. Trask? He's a fantasy novelist, a sci-fi fantasy novelist, and he's got a book called The Sentinels.
Yeah, by Bolivar Trask.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yes, Trask invented the Sentinels.
Yeah.
Tommy's talking to Charles, and he's like, you know, the world's kind of crazy. You trained people,
Yep.
people that you thought were different, and it's all about psychology. Like, these people are sociopaths, and like they don't have the same kind of emotions that other people do. And what does he say? They're not encumbered by the constraints of sociability, uniquely endowed to manipulate members of society by preying upon them.
Right.
And that it's the next step in behavioral evolution. And we're like, I'm sorry, behavioral evolution. Mm-hmm. This is all psychological.
Right.
Where are the powers? This is X-Men Noir.
Yeah.
Where is Jean Grey's mental ability? That's how she's scamming people.
It's in the river.
I thought Peter was a track star because he tapped into a little bit. What's going on?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a goddamn lie. No one has powers in the book.
It's not a lie.
Yeah.
They subverted our expectations.
Yeah.
It's an actual noir story.
Right.
This is like just
So,
old timey.
Yep. It's just
Right.
we're using the
Correct.
name
But
and the character
Spider-Man
names.
Noir got to have spider powers.
Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
And be in a noir
But
book.
they are magic.
So?
We got Scarlet Witch in this. She doesn't have magic.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyway, the guy's talking about like, I need the information of like your former students. One of them was murdered, and Xavier's like, yeah, I know, I heard about it. It's a
Right.
shame. And it's like,
It's like I'm saying.
you have to send me some kind of like note or some kind of message. Like I have to follow a lead. What can I do? And Xavier's like, I don't know how to help you. And the guard comes back and is like, visiting timers are up. He has special visiting hours. You're
Yep.
not allowed. So the guy hands him his book back. He's like, don't forget your pulp magazine.
Right.
And inside the magazine that Xavier hands him back is a note that says, find Marie Rankin.
I wonder if he does that, like, you know, that Hannibal Lecter move when
Yeah.
he hands back Clarice's books.
touches
he
her
just
hand a
touches
little
her
bit.
finger. Yeah, that's probably what Xavier did.
Yeah.
He's so stupid.
And Mr. Holloway, don't forget your pulp magazine.
Touch.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What are you doing?
What are you doing, Charles?
We go back to the detectives. They're going to a bar.
Yeah, the detectives haven't done any detecting.
No.
What are you talking about? They did their detecting. X-Men tattoo. Case closed.
Let's get drunk. Let's get this other guy figure it out. I don't care anymore.
There.
Hop to it.
Problem solved.
Yeah, see?
So the seasoned detective brings the rookie over to a bar called Fagan's.
Doink.
They're at the bar, and everyone's just like, hey, Fred, oh. Because the seasoned detective is like the most popular guy on the force.
Right.
And he's like, he got the rookie because it's the chief's kid. So like, you give the chief's kid to the best detective ever, who's gonna like help him along and teach him the best stuff, and also keep him out of trouble, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Kind of like build up his repertoire. So instead of stopping for a drink, Fred and Peter go down into the basement where you're hearing sounds of a scuffle. And they've got a guy tied to a chair. And as it turns out, this is Tom Cassidy. This is old Black Tom.
Cassidy, yeah.
And they're beating the information out of him, moving numbers and dope out of Norwood.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, look, you're a thug, you're running a ring,
Yeah.
and the people there are nice people, and you're going to get out of there. You're going to move into the slum district because it's going to be bulldozed anyway, so who cares who lives there?
Right.
So they're just like beating the absolute crap out of him. And then Fred's like, hey, Chief, your kid's here, and it's Magneto.
All right.
And he's just like,
Oh.
well, Now you see how the world really works. This is how we have to do business, because law-abiding citizens obey the law and criminals don't, so you have to deal with them like criminals.
Right.
And Peter just takes off and flees. He's
Runs.
terrified.
Really fast?
Moderately fast.
I'll say this.
He skips steps.
He skips quite a few steps.
It's pretty fast.
That's like a mutant power.
Swift.
Some person in a cloak is outside the Xavier School. I'm guessing
That's
it's Tom again.
Holloway. He's a vigilante. He's like Batman.
And I thought it was Magneto. I was like,
Yeah.
he's old, but he's doing stuff? I was
Yeah,
like,
right.
oh, he has powers.
Right. Nope.
No, it's Tom Holloway. Anyway, he breaks into the Xavier School. He looks up a file under Marie Rankin. And then he goes into the danger room. And it's funny because it says danger, training in progress. So it's like,
Get it?
it's just like, oh, it's the danger room.
That's
Cool.
fun.
That's nice. And it's a gym. There's basketball nets, there's a boxing ring, there's a target range, there's a thing to practice safe cracking and lock picking on. And then out of nowhere, this big mook with giant feet,
Beast.
comes flying out.
Like with powers?
No. And then in front of him is Cyclops.
Yeah.
You can tell it's Cyclops because he's wearing red shades.
Red glasses, yeah.
And he's holding a gun.
Like Cyclops
does.
always does.
You ever remember how Cyclops is a tough guy with a gun?
Yeah.
Anyway, Tom tries to be like, I'm trying to help you guys. Someone murdered Jean Grey. I'm on your side. And Cyclops says, we're the X-Men. No one's on our side. And he shoots Tom
Yep.
What?
with his concussive blast
Yeah, it's a
of
concussive
the
gun.
bullet.
Yeah.
So no one has powers in this universe.
No. No, it's fake. Yeah.
X-Men Noir #1. They're not mutants.
Nope.
They're just degenerates.
Written by Chris Claremont with pencils by Jim Lee, which that's the one I knew 100%.
Yes.
I guess this is like we're retelling the X-Men, or like, hey everybody, it's 91. You should jump on the X-Men, and here's why.
Yes.
This book is why. We're gonna tell you what's going on, what the status quo is, like tell you some of the history I guess we're keeping, and then we'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
And we got Jim Lee drawing it, so like.
So you're welcome.
High above Earth, there's like a space battle going on. Space battle. S.H.I.E.L.D. and some mutants. And like the mutants are like desperately, we don't find out the mutants till later, but they're looking for asteroid M.
Yeah.
And it's like they can't find it, but they think it's there. And like, I guess in continuity, it should have been gone.
Yes.
And Magneto also is not here. And they're like, we gotta find him. Ah! And like,
No, it's there.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
exactly. And they are just being pursued.
Yes.
But nobody's firing on them. They fire back, destroy a ship. They're like, okay. The pursuers are like, okay, but yeah, can we kill them now? Because like they're shooting at us at this point.
I said fire up, across her nose, not up it.
Yeah. There's a huge flash of light, and Magneto in all of his glory shows up in this like huge like double page splash where he's like in his costume, no helmet, and he tells you who he is just in case you're not sure. I am Magneto, and this is my home. And you see Asteroid M is there all of a sudden. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. And he's just like, listen, I don't give a crap that you guys are fighting, but could you like not do it here?
Yeah.
Could you like go someplace else? Because like I
I'm
don't,
having a party.
yeah, I don't give a
Party
crap.
for one.
Yeah, about like you guys anymore. I don't care about anybody.
Yeah, I'm out.
One of the mutants is like floating around, and like it seems like their suit's having a problem and all this stuff. And they're like, no, Magneto, we came to serve you and your cause. And he's like, I don't have a cause.
Yeah, it's over.
I don't do that anymore.
I don't do that anymore.
Right, and this is where like you see like I mean like there's a lot of great Jim Lee-isms in
Oh,
this.
big time.
But like for me, this like rendering of Magneto's face is like the strength we'll see in Jim Lee as he like progresses through his art.
Yes.
Is like here, and I'm like, oh, it's so good. There's some random stuff that's really static in this book, and it's not quite up to snuff. But there were some like really shining moments where I'm like,
Oh, that's why.
right.
That's why you're Jim Lee.
You're awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, he's awesome no matter what. But it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Anyway. He basically is like, those days are over. I'm done. Let's just like knock it the hell off.
No, don't drag me back in.
I don't want to. It's not one more time.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back on Earth.
Too old for this.
Right. Meanwhile, back on Earth in Star City Cosmodrome Baikonur, which is like Russia's answer to the space program in every way,
Yes.
shape, or form. They suddenly pick up this like asteroid M and like this energy signal, I guess, and they're like, it's Magneto, and we see Magneto in a crazy suit that I'm guessing he used to wear with a big M on it in case we didn't know whose suit it was.
That was his hero suit. That was when he was like...
And like his nice like cutout area here in case he sweats.
Right. Well, that way you can see just how often he takes care of himself.
Yeah, I mean, he is cut, let's be honest. So, like, essentially, like, the Russians are like, oh, crap, it's, like, right above us. That can't be good. Meanwhile, in the U.S., Nick Fury's talking to the president about how it's, like, clearly, like, Magneto is back. All right? It's very obvious. Moscow is very aware of it, and we think there's going to be a problem. We need to do something about this now. Like, we need to basically get ahead of it.
Yep.
President's like, whatever you want to do, Nick Fury.
You're in charge.
Yeah, you just, I'm not making this call. It's just your problem. Then we cut to the X-Men, who this book is about. And the X-Men are seemingly like in a control room somewhere. We got Cyclops and Storm and Beast and Forge, which, by the way, this is another instance where I'm just like, yeah, I like Jim Lee drawing casual people, not people like, you know,
Posing.
like looking as like
his Forge is super like
relaxed. Like he's just like he's a real dude. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, and Storm's like, ta-da.
Yeah, with like, I'm like, what? I mean, again, shading phenomenal.
Yep.
All right, but essentially we get like a rundown of who the X-Men are, where they are, the fact they're in Westchester, and it's like, oh, it seems like it's just a school, but like, oh my gosh, check out all this crap that's going on underneath.
If you've never read the X-Men before.
Yeah, which is
Check this
fine,
out.
because I mean, like, that is what this is meant to do. Like, this is like, you know, hey, like, people who don't read X-Men, or like kids who have never read X-Men, or whatever, like, this is your jumping on point.
Yeah, and it was as the highest selling comic book of all time.
Right, exactly.
And the
It's a little
template for the
crazy
cartoon
for a
show.
jumping on point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, it's very steeped in continuity. It's by Claremont.
Yeah.
Claremont's like, well, I'm not going to throw away the last 25, 30, 40 issues
Right.
that I wrote.
But like they're doing what they're trying to do is like consolidate it into something that's digestible for individuals, right? So they explain kind of what mutants are, fine, whatever. What they're doing here is they're basically running a danger room simulation, which we'll find out later on that that's what it is. But the idea is that like they've broken the remaining X-Men down into teams, and their goal is to get to Professor X and like
Touch him.
Like, you know what I mean?
Touch
Like,
Professor X, the game's over.
yeah, because they're trying.
On the cheek.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Yeah. They're trying to like test the defenses of the Xavier School and you know, the X compound. Professor X is of course hanging out with Jean Grey. It's funny because in here they like make a little bit of a winky kind of like moment because she's just like, they both like, he says in French that like the more things change, the more they stay the same, and like, oh, it feels like forever, blah blah blah, and he's like, but it feels like we're coming together for the first time, and I'm like,
Get it? X-Men #1.
Then we get this like really great like iconic image of Rogue like flying in there. I really like how much Rogue is in this because I really like 90s Rogue quite a bit. She's written in this with her southern accent, the whole nine. Missiles are flying at them. She decides that what she needs to do is like get them to follow her because they're like heat seekers and she's hot. And so she turns the back on themselves and like blows up all of the, you know, missile launchers. Not long after that, she's taken down, though.
Yeah.
By a second wave of missiles.
Yeah, she didn't see coming.
That's literally it.
Colossus, like, busts into where Professor X is and Jean Grey, and, like, Jean uses her powers on him, which he's like, ah! Because he's, like, just a brute, so it's like, oh, he didn't prepare for her mental attack.
Boom.
Meanwhile, Team B is Wolverine, Gambit, and Psylocke. This is, like, the cool team. This is the team everybody wants to be on.
Yeah.
They're floating around in the sewers.
A little smelly,
Gross.
especially for Wolverine.
Yeah, so their plan is to basically come from underneath. It's
Yes.
like a flanking sort of
Yeah.
tactic here.
You go high, I'll go low.
Yeah, they get attacked by robots, which are ridiculous and easily taken care of. Gambit, like,
They look like mandroids, by the way. Or
Yeah.
a shield issue, but
well,
they're probably not.
well, they maybe, I don't know, maybe they're based off of it. They have like weird robot rib cages and spines.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why?
Because it's cool.
No.
That's it.
Nope. So weird.
Because Jim wanted to draw it, and Chris don't care.
Wolverine like is like trying to make everyone work like a team, which is interesting because like Wolverine seemingly will like not give a crap about that a few pages from now.
Yep.
But like Gambit like wanders off on his own, and Wolverine's like, no, we gotta work together.
Damn occasion.
He ends up in the room with
Jean and
Jean
Chuck.
and Chuck, and he's just like, aha, I win. and he like attacks Jean with like his cards and stuff like that. She's fine. He catches her, and then he immediately is like, "I'm gonna kiss her."
Yeah.
And he kisses her, and then she explodes because they were robots. Which I'm like, "What? How did she use her powers?" But fine, whatever. It's the danger room, I guess. Who cares, right?
I simulated the telepathic attack.
No. So basically, like, it turns out that, like, Jean and the professor are actually in the control room with Cyclops and everybody else, and they're just like, well, there you go, like, we won, basically, after, of course, like, Jean's, like, compliments Gambit. She's like, I mean, to be fair, like, you know, look at him.
The moment that Xavier speaks French
Yeah.
and she interprets it, I was like, has she been getting lessons from Remy?
Right, yeah, she's like, those eyes, the grin, the body, it takes a girl's breath away. And Scott just keeps thinking, or talking about how he wants to drop a truck on him.
Yeah.
Because this Scott has a sense of humor.
Right.
Which is established here, and
Yep.
the fact that, like, Charles doesn't really know that. And, like, he's just like, no, it's cool. Like, he's got a sense of humor now.
Yeah.
It's all right. Out of nowhere, as they're having this conversation, like, Wolverine's fist, like, flies up out of the floor, and he's like, ha ha!
And he's like covered in robots.
Yeah,
and
like,
his fist
it's
torn.
kind of an amazing image.
It is amazing. It's like, I did it. I'm so great. And they're like, you barely made. If you weren't unkillable, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
But I am.
Yeah. It's like I got God mode on. I just went through the straight line.
Yeah, basically he's just like, ha ha, you thought that like that was our plan, but like he could smell where Charles was. Like he knew where he was.
They took the hits, and I come.
Yeah, and so then he uses his claws, and like that makes Cyclops freak out. And this is the Cyclops that we all kind of know and love, where he's
The
just
wet
like,
blanket.
yeah, the wet blanket. He's just like, hey, those are adamantium claws. Like if you mess up, you could kill him.
Yeah. Don't you know that your adamantium claws can cut through anything?
But it's like,
yes.
it's like
I'm aware of it.
Like, he just doesn't like Wolverine, so he's
Yeah.
just like, he just wants to give him a hard time, obviously, and he's just like, Wolverine's a trained individual. He's had these forever.
But he's being a dick. I like that. Bang,
Yeah.
you're dead. Snicked.
Yeah.
Just right before.
Yeah.
Well, it's because Chuck knows how far his claws are going to go because he can read his mind.
Yeah,
And so does Wolverine. He's like,
exactly.
I know these.
I'm not going to kill him.
Yeah. So then it reveals, oh, it's been the danger room this whole time. Of course it was.
Yep.
Because it's like, you couldn't be running these...
They destroyed the building. Like, they threw him through windows and
yeah.
stuff.
Well, it's like you, like, what? Like, and what's the neighborhood doing? Like,
oh,
those
X-Men
those
again.
crazy Westchester kids and their science, because,
Yeah.
like, they don't know it's the X-Men, I guess.
Still doing it.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you see Colossus in the background, like, holding Jean's, like, robot head, and, like,
Yeah.
he's like, this is weird.
Damn it.
But yeah, they're like, wow, this danger room's even better than before.
Remember there used to be a danger room? Well,
So
now
like
it's even
this one's
better.
even better. Like it can create anything. So
Yeah,
hang
it's a
on,
holodeck.
you're gonna see that at some point.
Yeah, we're going to keep doing
Strap in
this.
for that, kids. So I Scott's trying to like give a speech about how like you know things are harder than ever and blah blah. We gotta really work together. And like Wolverine's like, yeah, you do whatever you want. I got better shit to do.
I got to go smoke.
Yeah, so he leaves and like Cyclops is like. "Ugh."
Damn it.
Meanwhile, Nick
He
Fury.
was the idiot.
Meanwhile, Nick Fury puts on his X-Men costume to call them
Yeah.
because that's what it looks like.
Right.
It looks like he was like,
Because
"Ooh."
the colorist forgot who he was.
He's like, I'll put on my X colors so
yeah,
that they,
so
you know.
that they like trust me.
Cable? Is that you?
No.
No.
No, it's
Eye
Nick
patch.
Fury. Everybody's like hanging out afterwards, and they're listening to what Nick Fury has to say, basically about like the fact that Asteroid M is back, and clearly Magneto is here too. We're gonna need someone to go and like handle this, or like at least find out what's going on,
Yep.
right? Because like we're afraid that Russia's gonna get like are upset. They're
Twitchy.
already upset, and it's like let's just do something about this.
Yeah.
So the plan is they split up into two teams, much like we saw at the beginning of this book, which I kind of dig. It's like, oh, I love this things to come in the middle of the thing, and I'm like,
Yep.
okay. At least it doesn't reveal anything.
No.
So they're gonna split into two teams, and like they're gonna hold one team in reserve,
Yeah.
and they're gonna send the other team.
Yeah, this
And
is
what are
the-
those team names?
Team Blue and Team Gold.
Yes, this is the formation of the blue and gold team.
Right.
Why it's not blue and red or gold and silver, I don't understand, but blue and gold.
Well, that's like kind of their
Costume
colors.
right.
But
I
like,
guess that's true.
I guess they didn't want to do blue and yellow.
No, it's gold.
Gold, well, gold, blue, they're one-syllable words. Who's got time to say yellow?
no, yeah.
Who
No
wants to
time.
be Team Yellow?
Right? Not me.
Bees?
All right, other than bees.
Well, that's all you need.
Besides, bees don't even want to be on Team Yellow. Team Yellow's like Team Afraid.
Yeah.
Bees aren't afraid of shit.
They're supposed to be happy. Anyway, on Asteroid M, everybody who was in space before
Is now on the
is
asteroid.
there, and they're like, wake up. They're like,
Let's
I thought we
fight.
died. I thought you sent us back.
yeah, they're kind of like, what just happened? And then like they start at each other, and then Magneto shows up in like his like evening attire.
Yes, he
He's like,
does.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, you must have caught me at bedtime.
You're like, what are you doing here? You guys are guests in my home, and you guys are gonna tussle? I don't understand.
I'm so glad I have guests. It would have been a lonely orgy without you.
Now take off your clothes. Oh wait, it's metal. Here, let me help you.
Yeah. Oh, it's chilly in here. I'll turn up the heat.
I'd like to go home.
Go ahead. You walk outside.
Yeah, the
if you
door's
like.
open.
One of the chicks, I don't know if it's the same chick,
Right.
runs at Magneto and is just like, we want to live under your protection. We
love
need
you."
sanctuary. Oh God, you have to help us.
Like, for no reason. The other guy's like, oh, no, you don't.
Yeah, I don't think so. And he shoots her.
Like, we haven't even
Like a
gotten-
lot.
Yeah,
And then
Exo Man of War shoots her.
yeah, and then she like lands like at Magneto like as she's like falling down. She
Yep.
was just like, we pledge our lives to you.
Yeah. He's like, why?
He's like, but I don't have a cause.
He's like, what did I tell you earlier?
all right, so he flies into
Also,
a-
this whole dying thing, very unsexy.
Yeah, I'm not feeling
I was not dressed for this.
You're really killing the vibe here. He flies into a rage. It's revealed a little earlier that like there's a power dampening effect happening, so the mutants couldn't use their powers, and seemingly also the tech should have been dampened, but it wasn't because their suits are so advanced.
Yeah.
And Magneto's like, but like you thought that you could just use your suits here, but I am the master of magnetism.
I'm sorry, the what?
The master of magnetism. Don't you see? I draw on the primal forces of Earth itself. And then he like undoes their suits basically and
Yeah.
like takes one of their arms, I guess the guy was shot who was like a gun arm thing, and like makes him use it on himself.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
Why are you shooting yourself?
yeah.
Oh,
And then like this other dude's like, hey look, Magneto, I'm real sorry
I am sorry.
that any of this happened. We were just after these guys because they broke laws.
Right.
And he's like, but not laws.
Yeah, not mine.
you're not space law.
Yeah, exactly. So then like Magneto's just kind of like, okay, now what? And he's like holding the chick who died, and he seems
Yeah.
really worried about that. And then a character I hate shows up, and he's just like, I'm Fabian Cortez, and I'm like,
I hate you, Fabian Cortez. You're the worst.
Fabian's like worming his way into Magneto's like
Yeah.
service, and also like trying to influence him to go back to being Magneto,
Yes.
who everyone knows. They keep saying the word flat scans,
Humans are flat scans.
and like Magneto's like, what the?
why do you keep saying that?
Yeah, like you keep using that word.
Like we're in the future or something.
Yeah, you keep using heavy.
It's funny because they use it a lot in Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
And so like basically he explains to Magneto what that means, and it's like it's people who don't have like genetic superiority. So the X teams spring into action. I think Team A is like Rogue, Wolverine, and Psylocke, and I think Beast as well. I think he's on the team. Yeah, he is, and Gambit. And like Magneto goes to Earth because like Fabian Cortez is like, we have to protect ourselves. You have to do it on your terms. You gotta take care of us, and you're gonna figure this out. And so what Magneto does is he goes back to Earth, to the ocean, where we find out that at one point Magneto sunk a Russian sub that had nuclear weapons on it because like he told the world that they should disarm themselves.
Right. Yeah.
And like they took it as like, because you're gonna kill us.
Right.
And he's like, I get where they were coming from, but like it was supposed to be out of like this is what we should not be doing. It was supposed to be
Yeah.
out of like a good place.
No, you're all supposed to just not threaten each other with annihilation, is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah, so he pulls that out and he's like, oh crap, there actually are still a few that are good here. So he pulls them out and he's gonna take them back with him. So now he's got like these nukes, and then the X-Men show up, and like Rogue's like,
What are you doing?
yeah, like what's up? And he's like, hey Rogue,
Remember that time in the Savage Land?
a wink.
And she's like, I do. Why do you think I'm talking to you?
Right.
Yeah,
Why do you think they sent
exactly.
me first?
Yeah, that's why I'm in front of Wolverine.
Yeah.
Other than you can control metal, and why did we send Wolverine?
Yeah. Well, why do we send Wolverine next time either?
Right? So basically she's trying to like talk him down a little bit, and then like immediately Wolverine starts in with like the jabs, which is like starting to set him off a little bit, right? And like Wolverine's like, they're gonna threaten us, and she's like, no, like we're not threatening you. And he's like, nobody will. I got news. It's cool. Like don't worry, I'm gonna totally take care of this. And then Gambit. Oh no, it is Cyclops too. Gambit, Cyclops, and Beast. So like the other team is like Storm, Jean Grey,
Yeah.
and I guess some others,
And Psylocke.
and Forge. No, Psylocke's here.
Oh, Psylocke's here?
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
Come flying in on the Blackbird, the new Blackbird that
Yeah,
Forge made. It's
the
a hot,
cooler
sexy
yeah.
Blackbird.
Yeah, the Blackbird from the cartoon show.
Yes, and well,
The cartoon show
show.
Blackbird is from this.
it's from
Yeah.
this. It's all from this. And they're gonna like dive bomb him, and like Magneto doesn't like destroy them, he just stops them. And he's
Yeah.
like, I could destroy you, but like I'm trying to be cool here, so could you not? So then like Beast and Gambit fly out of the ship. They're dropping down, and the plan is they'll just distract him, and then he'll let the Blackbird go. Right. And he like immediately like expects that, and like Gambit's like, hey, I see that like you didn't kill Beast when you tried to stop him, so like I won't charge my cards fully. Fine. And he's like, that's probably for the best, and he uses the cards against him. And I'm like, I don't understand how that works.
Yes, exactly.
That one I was like, I don't get how he does that unless he uses something else to deflect it that we don't see.
Or they have metal ridges around them or something.
Maybe they
Mastery
do.
of magnetism.
You know, my grandma used to have like cards that had like a metallic
Edge.
Like a foil edge?
Yeah, like something to it. So maybe he uses that.
is.
I don't know. Solid goes in. She actually does kick him.
Yes.
And she's like, but his armor's too strong.
But if I use the focus totality of my psychic powers.
Which she literally says.
She says that every time she
says,
uses
I've
the side
manifested my psychic blade, the focus totality of my telepathic abilities. I read that and all I could hear was Sal.
Because she says that every time she uses
Which
her
is
side
funny
blade.
because like literally throughout this entire book, because of the nature of where the cartoon came from, I read it in like everyone's voice.
Oh yeah.
Which was
but
kind
like,
of
who's Betsy?
well, that was what was sad. It was like I got to Betsy and I'm like,
is like not in the show.
I don't have a voice for you.
Well, she sounds British.
Right, but like there are like moments where I'm like, I remember the cartoon characters literally like saying some of these things. And this is where it all goes wrong. Like it was already going wrong, and then Wolverine ruined it, which is like, don't bring Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like unless you actually plan on
Killing someone.
you don't bring
Don't
Wolverine.
bring the assassin.
Yeah. So Wolverine goes in and like it's like Cyclops comments a little later on that he's like, that was a kill shot.
Right.
And
You try to kill him.
I've seen Wolverine in action before, and I know that that's what he's trying to do. But I love this moment because like Magneto's like, have you gone mad? I don't understand you guys. Like, why do you assault me? And good lord!
Yeah. Good lord.
I love this panel so much.
Which is a fair response to Wolverine like jumping at you with
Yeah.
his adamantium claws.
Exactly.
Even
With the
still.
focus totality of his adamantium claws. Magneto keeps like they keep mentioning the fact that they work together.
Yeah,
There's a point-
Magneto was like the leader of the X-Men.
Yeah, where they work together, and like he's just like, did our camaraderie nothing? Because like he remembers Wolverine like and him working together fairly well, and that like Wolverine was kind of cool with him being there, and he's like, I don't understand why you're so mad at me now.
And
Right.
earlier in the book, even Wolverine says, what, people aren't allowed to change? Like, yeah, he left. He's a new person. Why do we have to go after him like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll just stab him.
Oh, we're going after him? Kill.
Kill.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I can't help myself.
That's my only switch.
Scott blasts Magneto into the hull of the ship where he lands in water filled with the bones of the people that Magneto killed when he sunk the ship, which sends Magneto over the edge because he sees those and he's like, when I killed them, it was like killing pawns. And now I see them and they're real things. And then it makes him think of the Holocaust. And like it just all like unravels for Wolverine.
And Wolverine's like running at him like, I'm gonna stab you.
I'm gonna kill you, and like Magneto's like, yeah, but no. And instead of like actually using his ability,
metal?
yeah, he actually just folds part of the ship up, and he's like, get away from me,
Right.
because like he is coming apart.
Yeah.
He leaves with the nukes. He's going. Rogue takes off after him, and they're like, where are you going? She's like, I'm doing what we should have done in the first place, which is just talk to him. Like you should have just sent me.
Right.
Beast says, and this is like literally, I remember him saying
That's
this.
a Beast line.
Oh, my stars and garters.
Yeah.
And like I could hear the voice actor's voice saying it. I'm
Yeah.
like, ah!
Yeah. That's a
Fun.
classic Beast line.
Right, but like that brought me immediately back.
Yeah.
I was like, yay, this is awesome. She follows him up there and he's like, what are you doing here? She's like, listen, Cyclops handled this completely incorrectly.
Yeah, we botched this, sorry.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, can you not see for a minute
How
why-
you look.
Yeah, like
a
how
villain.
you look and like why people might be upset with you right now. Even if you have changed, like you were pretty much the poster boy for why mutants were bad. And now you're proving them right.
Yeah.
So like maybe we shouldn't do that. And then the Russians show up and shoot the shit out of Rogue.
Yeah.
Because like they see that they're up in the space there. They don't know that Rogue's not part of it, and they just shoot the hell out of her. Well, or Magneto loses it and then detonates a bunch of the nukes.
Right.
So for the second time today, Rogue is hit with rockets.
That's right.
Yes. Well, bullets. She got hit with bullets there, and it's like it's brutal.
It is brutal.
Looking, and I'm like,
cool.
how? So like, he mentioned saying that he can save one. So I guess it's her he's trying to save.
Yeah.
And then like, the X-Men are like,
Oops.
anybody got a read on Rogue? They're like, no, she's gone. The nukes are gone, Magneto's gone, and Rogue is gone. And you're like, what the hell's going on here, right? Magneto goes back home to Asteroid M. He's just like, the Wolverine thing is really bugging him. He's just sitting there in his like chair
with his slashes,
with his ripped costume. He hasn't even gotten out of it. He's just pouting in the darkness. And he's just like, no, like there was no mercy there. He was just gonna kill me. I thought we were friends. Like, I don't understand. It's like, dude, you literally had like 7 nukes around you. This is when Fabian Cortez is like, no.
I'm Creamer Wormtongue.
Yeah, he's totally doing that whole thing where he's just like, no, maybe the problem is that like your vision and Xavier's vision can't exist in the same world, and your vision is the right one, so you gotta get rid of the other one. And he's just like, no, I don't understand. Like, I have to.
But can't I just stay up here on my planet?
No. He's like, I have to kill people to save them, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So then, like, we finish up with like what's going on with Rogue and how like Rogue's in Genosha, which is like they're better now.
Yeah.
They're fine. They're not keeping like mutant slaves anymore.
No.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And like she wakes up, she's like talking to a person or the chief magistrate, who's like, you know, hey, it's totally cool. We're all free here now.
Right.
She's like, even mutants. She's like, yeah. Anyway, we're being attacked. Could you like help us? Like right now, I know you just like almost died.
Literally.
But like, could you like get out there? So she goes out there, and it's the Acolytes.
Yep.
And they're like, hey, what's up? Now, one of the guys' names is Delgado, who was one of the guys who was on the other side at the beginning of this book. So it's like, oh, what's the mystery there? Because that comes into question when he attacks Rogue, seemingly he's going to kill her, and then the X-Men show up, and this time it's Gambit, Cyclops, Beast, and Wolverine. Because that went really well last time.
The diffuser.
The diffuser shows up with his 6 diffusing claws.
I know how to end the conversation real quick.
Exactly.
Bang.
So they fight. Wolverine and Beast like question where Delgado came from, but they're like, there's no time to really figure that out.
Sure.
But like, we'll keep that in the back of our head. Psylocke talks about the fact that how she could totally use her psychic powers to ruin these people from afar, but like she's addicted to the physical action of things. And like, oh, I better be careful or my enemy might use that against me.
Sure.
Who the hell cares?
Nobody.
Right?
Yeah, but if I can just focus
The totality of my psychic energy.
of this brutal attack I'm gonna have.
Right? So like these guys are there because they're like, screw you, Genosha, you suck.
Right.
Even though things have changed, and like that's what they try to explain to them. They're like,
It's better.
well, the government changed. The government here was what caused the problem, and now they're not in charge any longer. So people can, the point is people can change, which is so funny because that's what Magneto was all about, and they
And then
told
he
him to
didn't.
screw off.
Even Wolverine said that, and then he became a monster.
Yeah.
Right, and then-
So in Magneto's memory, they're gonna go and attack people who couldn't change.
Yeah. So then Magneto shows up, and he's like, Cyclops, knock it off.
Ta-da!
Like, ta-da, it's me. Here's what you're gonna do. Like, I don't defend what these people just did because I didn't tell them to do that, but they are under my care. So, like, if you attack them or any mutant, honestly, on Earth, it's like you're attacking me.
Right.
Because Magneto's back, baby.
Ah.
Right? And, like, so, like, if you do that, I will respond.
So you
You
remember how like we worked together and I had a different point of view?
Yeah.
Turns out I'm the best villain that the X-Men ever had, so I need to be a villain again.
Yeah, so, hey, I'm back.
We're doing X-Men #1.
Yeah, and then we have like this tiny little sidebar where we're like, hey, back at the Xavier School, Banshee's running through the halls looking for Moira McTaggart because like he's like, oh, she's been here for a while. Not this crazy crap's happening with Magneto.
No.
Not whatever.
Where's Moira?
I better make sure she's eaten because we haven't seen her in a while. Like, what?
You
what
have
if
to keep
she's
your
not
strength up,
okay?
Moira.
What? Because you're a woman.
Right.
Like,
Be careful. You don't want to get your blood sugar too low.
Right, and
you're
like-
a woman.
He finds her and she's crying. Basically, we need him to do this so we can find out Moira's great reveal here.
yeah, oh no.
Because she's like, you know, I can't believe this. I can't believe, like, you know, what possessed me to do this. I don't understand. The terrible things that are happening, it's my fault.
Yeah.
And you're like,
What? And then in 2019, you'll find out why. No.
So like, what?
Oh, what? Setting up things.
X-Men 91.
Yeah. Whew. I think my good is X-Men.
Yeah, it is. No, like, hands down. I actually really enjoyed reading this, and I don't know if it's not the nostalgia of it.
Right.
Because, like, literally, I was like, this is just the show. It's got the drama, the melodrama, the action, the ridiculousness. Like,
The same costumes.
Yeah.
yeah, like everything about it, I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, I was just enjoying myself, even if it is like chewing the scenery a lot
It's
of the
a
time.
lot, yeah.
But like, the fact that we're getting Jim Lee art doesn't hurt it.
That's the other thing.
Necessarily,
you're getting
like-
images that they're going to use of these characters forever.
Yeah, like this is like
An
it's,
image of Colossus, they
Yeah.
will use that on like promotional material for the next 10 years.
yeah, it's like the X-Men's like look Bible for
Yeah.
like quite a while.
Right. I don't want Gambit to ever not look like he does in this issue.
Yeah.
The end.
That's fair.
Right? Magneto, same deal.
Yep.
When he is not wearing the helmet, I want him to look like that.
Yep.
I want him to look like Rutger Hauer from fucking 1991. Yeah,
And like
so,
this like encapsulation of like the like
spirit and action of Rogue.
yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
The only thing I guess I guess Iceman, he's the other mutant.
He's
And
on there.
Archangel, so that's the other team.
Yes.
That's the B team.
There you go.
There. But that is my good as well, 100%.
Yep, it's also my good.
Yeah.
Nice. By the way, swell ad for X-Men action figures from Toy Biz on the back. I'm excited.
Look at them.
Yeah, I had most of these.
They're available at Toys
They're
R
over
Us.
there.
Yeah. I think the bad for me, X-Men 2099, it's not terrible. It's just kind of like, who cares?
Yes.
Like, Tim Fitzgerald, no one is egregious or horrible. John Pyle sucks, but like, he's supposed to. He looks like garbage, and he is garbage. And so is the story. Do I care about Sheehan or any of them? Not really. Like, Serpentina's nice. I'm like, oh, she's fun because she's nice. But like, otherwise, she doesn't, no one matters. No one in this book matters, and the universe is stupid. But it's also like, kind of like simple. You know, like, Punisher 2099, I'm like, what the hell is even happening?
It's insane.
Yeah.
This is less insane. This actually is like an X-Men book.
It's like anything, where it's like, go to the desert, there's a place. We think it's empty. It's not. And who's in it? The dregs.
Oh, Las Vegas. It's a city of sin, and it's run by the corrupt. That hasn't changed either.
Right, I'm in. I got it. The X-Men have a rad van. That's like the Blackbird. It's great. But like, and it's also, it doesn't deviate, it doesn't make it like too hard to understand, where it's like, look, it's all the characters you remember, but they have different powers, unless they don't, and different names. Mm-hmm. That are
No,
just
I like
that are
it.
just radder 90s versions of those names.
But
Mean
like-
Streak, you know, there was a committee decision where they were like, can we change Quicksilver's name to Mean Streak? I really like that, and Quicksilver's kind of a dick anyway. Can we just do that? No, I'm using Mean Streak in this book.
The only crazy thing is that it doesn't feel like a 2099 book. It just feels
It could
like
literally be in Las Vegas.
in the 90s.
Yeah, it could literally be today.
They could have been
Yeah.
the Morlocks instead.
Right. It could have been.
Yeah.
But like, the fact is, I don't care. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, that is also my bad.
Plus, Ron Lim drew it, so it's like, it's competent. It doesn't look stupid or try. It's not trying to be anything other than, here's an X-Men book. Mm-hmm.
You know what's going on.
You get it. It's like, Jim Lee is like, here's my audition for everything. And this is like, and here's an X-Men book. I'm not gonna fuck it up.
This yeah.
And
So
then there's
Noir
X-Men
is your
Noir.
ugly.
It's the ugly. I loathe it. It was boring. It took 9 minutes to read, and it was still boring. Plus, like, it was, you knew that Van Lente was like patting himself on the back, where he's like,
This
hey,
is great.
no powers. That's the hook, and they're gonna keep reading this. Oh, they don't. Oh.
It's a weird tie for the ugly for me.
Mm-hmm.
The story in 2099 was insipid. I'm just like,
Is there one?
I get it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I
liked the dialogue in this. I liked how people talk. I liked the universe that they built. But I can't stand the fact that there's no powers.
Yeah.
They're not mutants.
No.
So they're not the X-Men.
Right.
Done.
That's a different book.
I don't think there was anything about that book that I liked at all. Like,
Well-
I wasn't a fan of the art. Like, I wasn't a fan, honestly, of the dialogue. Like, it was just, it felt overdone at times, which was ridiculous.
That's the thing, yeah.
Because there wasn't all that much of it. There wasn't a lot that happens in that issue.
Yeah.
Like, see, like, do I applaud it for trying to do something new? Yeah. Like, cool, you try something different. Like, you
Yep.
were like, let me, like, do a spin on the X-Men that we haven't seen before, and here it is.
Sure.
That doesn't make it a success.
No, just because it's different.
And like, for me, it was not a success.
There's two things I liked about this book. I liked how they printed the curse words and then like scribbled them out. Like, I liked that because it made it feel more pulpy. Like, they like literally someone is like drawing on your comic. And I liked the twist on Trask and the Sentinels as a pulp novel. I liked the art on the novel. I thought it was like really cool. It was like, hey, wow, you're really going back and doing that. Like, that looks like a real thing that you pulled from the past. And I liked that idea where it's like, if you're not going to do the Sentinels, fine, make a book about robots. Like that's a neat idea.
It's a good nod.
Yeah,
It's a good way to do it.
right,
In a
if you're-
science fiction book.
If you're gonna do that, if you're gonna make a book about the X-Men in which there are no X-Men, then I guess if you're gonna put their killer robots in there, make it about a book. But even then, it's not like the book, because it doesn't thematically work. The whole metaphor breaks down because it's like the X-Men are the dregs of society who are like career criminals, and the Sentinels were created as like a fear of the mutants in the comics. So what does the book, a science fiction book about like people called the Sentinels, have to do? You know what I mean?
I think they tell you about it.
They do. There's a backup, like a Watchmen, where it like has like an excerpt
I
of
didn't
the
read
Sentinels
it.
book.
Nor did
I
I.
was like,
By
I'm
the time
so
I got
done.
to that, I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah.
But like it could, and if
It would have taken as long to read as the book.
yeah, if the Sentinels are a reaction to extreme crime, and the Sentinel characters that are written by Trask in the book are like an extreme policing of like suspected criminals, then it's like, oh, okay. But really, you could have just had like, I don't know, a sect of the police force called the Sentinels, where like they're given like riot gear and stuff, and their job is just to like bust heads on these X-Men. Like you could still do the Sentinel thing and make it actually allegorical as opposed to just a nod, which is what it is. Like it's no. No. I don't think it's so terrible. Like I wasn't offended by it. It's just kind of like I was like, that just sucks. Like
Yeah.
so
It's not a
no,
world I want to read.
No, I'm not
If
gonna
they're-
wrong
If they don't
box
have
it.
powers, if they're not mutants, why
What
am
am I
reading
doing?
it?
Yeah.
Wrong box? I say no.
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 All right.
You know what's funny is
Narrows and
I
chaos.
read them in this order, so
me
they
too.
just kept getting better.
Yeah. I also read them in that order, but I was like, this one took the longest to read. I'm
This
like,
one, I
a
actually,
lot of dialogue in
I
here.
like flew through this, but I think it's because I was just having a like, silly, like good time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
This one was the silly good time for me. I'm like, this one took no time. Although I did get like halfway through issue 2 and I was like, oh, son of a bitch.
No, I just was like,
You got me
no.
again. So I read
No.
extras X-Men. And then I quickly went into this group chat. I'm like, don't read the middle.
I saw that. I was like,
You'll
what?
waste your time.
Don't
So I knew to
do
skip
it,
it.
Yeah.
Wolverine.
But yeah, so the good X-Men, the bad by vote.
By default, yeah.
By default, X-Men 2099, The Ugly, X-Men Noir. No wrong boxes here this week, but I'm sure there will be one in the future. We want to thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time with an all-new episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
So long.